Okay, so I will be introducing what is code switching. So what is code switching actually is when we use multiple language in one conversation. So for example, I am using English, at the same time I'm understand bahasa Melayu, but my friend reply me in bahasa. I still manage to reply him in English. So that part takes code switching for both of us to understand. So switching language takes place when both parties understand what is conversation is all about. Even though we are using different language, we still code switching it. So not only language, we also study on code switching in dialects. So dialect is a slang. So from different slang, from each party reply to each other, it's still a code switching. So that's all.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Luqman Hakim bin Muhammad Afif. So today I'm going to explain my part, which is introduction. So here, let me explain to you. Code switching is a utilization of two different language in a single conversation. Like it also can say as switching from one linguistic code to the other during single conversation. Even it's called code switching. It is because some individuals describe code switching as using more than one language in discourse. Nowadays, Malaysia have implied code switching in elementary, secondary, university, institution, professional setting, even in a daily life. In this situation that has drawn notice whether the code switching situation caused to the bridge the gap among the speaker and the listener, or it can say like it is simply the way Malaysia interact with one another. So next is code switching is also rather popular among the student. This investigation will look at how code switching is utilized to attain communicative goals in bilingual discussion in Bahasa Malay and Bahasa English at class or learning period. We also discuss the purpose of code switching and how it will be used to achieve the speaker's communication goals. We conducted the form and active interview through online form among our students and friends by distributing a questionnaire in a Google form and ask them to fill it out also during interview session. There are several features of code switching, and all elements are found to confirm the finding that code switching can be used to referring to those function which is established. So we're moving on to objective. So for objective, actually, code switching, also known as a most relevant language that is easily available. According to the research on the second language speaker communication method, bilingual typically use their native language to overcome linguistic communication obstacle in the second language. For example, the lack of expertise in the second language, the efficiency of speaking in one native tongue, it also ignorance of comparable English phrases. So our objective is to uncover this problem because it occurs often among Malaysian students in our campus. This first step to determine our professional, what we call it, professional setting in Malaysia. And in Malaysia also we use Manglish, the words mix from Malay and English, and it had been used in daily speaking dialogue about assessment and assignment. Following that, learning Manglish will allow them to converse comfortably with other or their student and peer. So that's all from me. I think. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nasabrina Zulaika binti Hamdan. So I will be doing on data analysis for this study, which is switching codes among MSU students. So for overview, we did study on demographic data, language choice and dialects. Demographic data is actually we study on their background, their age, for example, are they raised in bilingual families, and their education background. So in this study also, we perform 50 participants, which is 50 students, and most of them are 18 to 27 years old and above. So for the result, what we gain is the student in MSU have two famous languages, which is English and Malay, which is they are most comfortable using it. They think that English is an international language where it's easy to communicate, and that they think not all students understand their native language, such as Tamil and Mandarin. So every student has to be good in at least English to communicate with others, and that is their way to blend in with other people. And might have some people who can't speak their native language, as I mentioned just now, Tamil and, for example, Tamil and Mandarin. So for dialects, some of them have their own dialects and way, should I say slang? Slang is like their style of talking. So when they communicate, so they might have dialects in their talking. So a bit having hard time for them to blend in, and another party to understand what they are talking. For example, we did make interview on Iban people, which they say is a bit hard for them to pronounce the word as they are not used to it. So code switching in an MSU student, not only MSU student, I think around the world is very famous now, because that's the only way we can communicate. Not everyone is on the same page and on using the same language. So in order for that, we already studied that everyone should at least has two language to communicate with all people, and it is flexible. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Good morning, madam. My name is Vilashni, and I'm here to talk about my part on the report, which was the literature review. So first of all, our research was about code switching among MSU students and also the language choice among MSU students. Okay, so first of all, I would want to say that code switching does occur among MSU students. Based on our research, there were many reasons to code switch occur, but then one of the important or main reason was students want to feel comfortable while speaking to their friends. Most of the MSU students, they prefer to speak in English actually. So now if you are from the Malay community and your friend is an Indian, so if you talk to them in Malay, they will understand, but it's not that they understand all the words, all the Malay words. So when you're speaking to them, when you speak Malay, and then you tend to use a English word in between to make them understand what you're saying. So code switch occurs there. So that's how code switch mostly happens among MSU students. Okay, so and also I did some research on code switch. I found out that not only in here in Malaysia people use code switching, but also in foreign countries they do use code switching. For example, my research article was titled as Spanish in the United States, meaning the article is about the community of United States learning and using the Spanish language in their daily life. Like people from the United States, they learn the Spanish language and they tend to mix the language with their language while speaking. So that's how they use the code switching method over there in the article that I used for my research. And also, just like our research, the article also had its aims. First, for example, the article's aim was to show the range of Spanish in United States and also to illustrate the principal trends and methods in social linguistics investigation and so on. So similarly, our research also had its own aims. For example, we wanted to find out code switching among MSU students and also the language choice among them. So yeah, this is what our research was about. So to conclude, I think code switch will always occur among the community, no matter here or foreign countries, everywhere code switch occurs everywhere. And I think there will be no end for code switch because whenever you speak in anywhere, whenever you speak, you tend to mix at least two languages to make the person you're talking to understand what you are saying. So I think there will be no end for code switch. So that's all from me. Thank you so much, madam.
A very good morning to Miss Angela. I'm Madhyarsi Rajamohan here. I'm here to present about the methodology of our research. Well, we have investigated the social linguistic phenomena through related interviews. We aim to systematically describe the characteristics of the language choice among students. We needed qualitative data to achieve this aim, which is expressed in words. We needed to collect primary data as it was collected from us. It was the descriptive data by gathering observation without intervening. We used the survey method for our research. We find qualitative data is the most suitable approach to answer the research question because qualitative research works better if we wish to understand true concept, thoughts, or experience-wise. Giving justification to our research topic stemmed exclusively from the result of our literature review. Well, from the review, it is possible that the strategies past investigation utilized didn't satisfactorily make sense of the phenomenon. It is possible that new systems in other fields of studies might go against the current information about the phenomenon and proposition new understanding, which we might need to apply. In a qualitative written report, we might aim to produce the contextual, real-world knowledge about the shared choice of a specific group of people, which are the students for our research. As this methodology is less controlled but rather more interpretive, we should think about our situation as researcher, considering what our cooperation and perception could have meant for the outcomes. Well, we have included the data collection, which is the qualitative research. Since methods are frequently more adaptable and abstract, this qualitative research is vital to think about the methodology we took and make sense of our decision. And we prepared survey questions using Google Forms. And we also managed to get 50 of them to answer the survey questions, and we interviewed 5 of them verbally. That video has taken 4 to 5 minutes, and it was recorded through manually and also online. Moving on to our second criteria, we put this participant observation, where we observe the student community and we convince them by asking few interesting questions about language, and then we manage to get access from them, and then they accepted our interviews. They accepted our request for the interviews, and we interviewed them. So moving on to our last criteria, existing data, where we select code switching as the case study material for the focus of our analysis. We collected the materials from our lecturer's notes, and we also used a few links for our case study. And then hereby I would like to also mention that we have used this discourse analysis research method for studying written or spoken language in relation to its social context, where it aims to understand how language is used in real life situation. When you do discourse analysis, you might focus on the purpose and effects of different types of language. And finally, the reason why we refuse to choose the balanced two methods, which are content analysis and thematic analysis, is because both methods cut across information and looking for examples and subjects. Their main distinctions lies in the chance of evaluation of information in satisfied examination by estimating the recurrence of various classification and topics. So we thought that this both methods doesn't relate to our survey questions. So we found that discourse analysis method is way much apt for our survey questions. So that's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Nurul Fiyadi bin Faisal, and I will talk about conclusion. So for the first point is adapting to any situation. So adapting to any situation is mean that the students is adaptable and flexible. This can be seen when the students can be creative in code switching. When the student have problem while explaining something, they can change to code switching to be more adaptable and flexible in the studies. So the next point is allow people to understand different parts. This can be seen when the student didn't understand the words or the words or the sentences. They can change or switch the code the sentences or words with code switching in their own language. This can make the students understand what is the words or sentences, and this will make them more easier to do the works. The third point is improve connection with people. Mostly people code switching when they communicate or interact with other people, which is their friends, families, or strangers. This can be seen when some people helping strangers to show directions, or when students with their friends, when their friends use slangs, they can understand when they do code switching with them. That's all from me. Thank you.